Hello, everybody. Welcome to week 5's class for qualitative methods. I just wanted to do a quick introduction video because starting week 5 and beyond, we have a lot of moving parts for this course. And I just want to make sure we're on track in terms of assignments, timeline, because we are not going to see each other during week 5 and we will rejoin week 6. And during week 6, we have a lot of things that are due and a lot of preparation during week 5 to make week 6 happen. So I have put together a little PowerPoint presentation to really break down the timeline with all the moving parts. Okay, so this is week 5 overview with upcoming assignments. I know it is super hot outside this week, but when I think about coding data, I think about, being in front of a warm fire with a cup of tea. So that's the kind of energy I want you to bring into this, is relaxation, not anxiety. Okay, so week 5's session is now been posted. I actually opened it, today is Friday, so I opened it early so that you all can sort of get ahead if you so choose. So there are 2 lectures that have been posted. One that's on introducing and focusing the study. The second one is on crafting and conducting intensive interview and data collection. So I ideally like you to watch those prior to going out into the field and collecting data. However, if you do have an interviewee or participant that's ready to go, I would suggest not canceling on them, but just trying to go and then trying to learn from subsequent interviews. So don't worry if you are going maybe in a little bit out of order this week, but just try to get all of these tasks accomplished. Our main task of this week is that you are virtually going to engage in a peer review / Shark Tank activity, where within your partner groups, you are going to review your 1-page proposal, use that series of questions and activity to revise your proposal, and send that to me whenever you are ready. So some of you might have already been doing this. I am ready to receive your proposals once you've refined them at any point. So they are due 24-hour window after you have done your Shark Tank activity, just so you're not waiting on it. But I realize this is also a moving timeline because you're probably scheduling your team's meetings at different points in the week. That brings me to my next point, is that I'd actually like you to record your meeting. What I'm going to do from a grading perspective is I'm going to watch the recording that you emailed to me, and then I'm going to also have you email me your proposals when you're ready, and I'm going to watch them side by side and then give you my final feedback on your proposals, and then I will send them back to you. This is going to prepare us for week 6. So week 6 is maybe one of the most anxiety-provoking pieces of the class because it's the very first time that we are A, going to have an assignment related to collecting interview data, and B, we're going to engage in some group analysis of each other's codings, both online, and that's going to link to a subsequent activity that we are going to do in class. So first things first, we have your coding activity, which I've prepared. In the next slide, I'm going to take you through the steps of like who's going during week 6, what we need to prepare out a week ahead of time. But I also want to let you know that the upcoming evaluation of an interview assignment is coming up as well on July 1st. So you should be working on these 2 things simultaneously to make this all fit together. Okay, so this is the area of the syllabus that I want you to go over on your own time to really understand the flow of how the coding activity is going to work out. But I have created an additional slide to hopefully make it a little bit easier for you with some embedded upcoming dates. So please go back and review that slide. However, I also want to show you this document so that you are good to go with our dates. So June 20th, which is coming up very soon, I'd like Kristen, Michelle, and Dorothy to only post 4 pages, which is actually a lot less than 4 pages. Once you look at the formatting document, it's probably more like 2 pages of interview data because of the way you fit your margins for coding, which I'll show you in a minute. So you're going to post a chunk of your data, and you are going to post it in an uncoded format. It's important that you have all the identifiers removed. So there should be nothing that links names or other identifiers, locations to your interview participants. So because, you know, Louisville is a small community, and if you leave those things in, then you aren't really protecting the confidentiality of your participants and anonymity, etc. So you're going to post that on this course discussion board, which I am going to show you in a minute. And you want to use some special features of Microsoft Word to actually align your transcript so that you have all of your text shoved over to the left-hand side, and on the right-hand side, you'll have a text box, which your classmates can then put their codes in so we can see them side by side. I'll show you that in a minute. June 26th, Aravia and Jennifer are going to be coding Kristen, Michelle, and Dorothy's data. So you're going to take the transcripts. Sorry, that's when it's due. So starting June 20th, Aravia, Jennifer, and myself can access Kristen, Michelle, and Dorothy's transcripts. So on June 26th, which is the night before class, you're going to code and post your transcripts based on the reading. So the most important thing is that we do Kathy Sharma's assigned reading for this week. So everything you need to know about initial coding or gerunding, which is the coding practice that we are going to use to put onto our classmates' data, is outlined in Sharma's chapter 5. So that is the very first thing you need to read. And then you'll learn the coding strategies, and then you will do it on Kristen, Michelle, and Dorothy's data. Okay. So Aravia and Jennifer, pay very close attention. And so you're going to code all 3 and post to the discussion board. Kristen, Michelle, and Dorothy will only code their own. And I'm going to be coding Kristen, Michelle, and Dorothy's alongside of you. So on June 27th, we will meet face-to-face in class. We will do a coding exercise in class that involves comparing and contrasting the way, you know, Aravia has coded, let's say, Kristen's data to the way I have coded Michelle's data, etc. So it's really a process of constant comparison that we're engaging to make sure we're really learning these coding strategies. And don't get too stressed out about this. I want you to do a really good job of reading Sharma's chapter and practicing the coding strategies, but nobody really gets coding right perfectly the first time. It is an area that you really do need to refine over time, which is why we're going to have a lot of fun in class doing this with each other and refining your codes in real time. Okay. So you have no need to bring anything extra to class on June 27th. You will have prepared all of your things ahead of time, and the only thing we need for that class activity is really just your posted work on the discussion thread. And then July 1st is the evaluation of an interview assignment, or which means evaluation of your own assignment. So I'm going to go over, your own interview. So either if you are in Michelle's case, you are evaluating an existing interview transcript. If you are collecting your own data, you're evaluating your own interview transcript, okay? So let me show you a little bit on the discussion board what these things look like and where you can locate them. Okay. So here is our class assignment. The first thing I want to tune you into is that we have these instructions for formatting your interview. Pay close attention here, because formatting interviews, so this will be, you've identified, you know, your 150 to 200 lines, roughly 4 pages, cut in half. And so these are instructions in Word how you actually format. And this is what it will end up looking like. We want a number on the left-hand side. That's how we can all locate, let's say, line 7. Everyone go to line 7 and we're going to code that in class, right? And this is the text box where you are going to put your codes. Okay, that's one. The next thing I want to alert you to is this evaluation of an interview assignment document. This will give you everything you need to know about what you need to submit your really big first assignment, which is your whole interview transcript. So for this assignment, you're going to evaluate an existing qualitative interview from your data set. This could be one that you've collected or one that, if you're using my data set, you'll just use one of those. You're going to identify strengths, weaknesses. You're going to rewrite 3 interview questions so they're more effective in alignment with the grounded theory approach. Which questions, responses, got it meaning making, which ones got it action, sort of some reflection, like if you interviewed this participant again, what would you ask them? These can be short answer questions. I just want you to kind of use your gut reaction to them. You don't need citations. You don't need to write paragraphs, just a quick couple of sentences getting at each of these reflection questions about the interview transcript. I also think it's important to have some sort of field note template to keep track of your data. So I want you to also come up with a participant code or code name. I like to ask participants what they would like their alias to be. General comments, evaluation comments, methodological notes, technical notes, personal notes. Those are all pretty self-explanatory. Then descriptive notes and reflective notes. So anytime in your interview, and I'd like you to maybe try to do this 4 times, I'd like you to think about maybe an experience, an interaction that you had that might be maybe off of, that maybe wasn't captured in the transcript. Maybe this is nonverbal communication. Maybe it is verbal communication. In that case, you're going to describe that moment in the interview. Or if you're using an existing transcript, you might want to copy and paste a segment of the transcript into this, and then you're going to write some reflection about that. So what do you think the deeper meaning was behind, let's say, that interaction? What do you think the deeper meaning was behind this segment of transcripts? How might we use this information to really write up the meaning or the findings of our report? So really trying to link this together early on, of trying to understand maybe more of the nuances of our data collection. And you can also add a timestamp or a page number there. So this is the accompanying documentation that you need to send me along with your interview transcript. So I will be reading your interview transcript, the full transcript for one interview, and then I will be also reading this evaluation assignment. And I'm later today going to put up some tabs here so you can just submit them and submit everything through Blackboard. Okay, one last thing or 2 last things I really want to show you. I have created a discussion board here, or yes, a discussion board thread. When you are ready to post for your transcripts for coding, remember that's the shortened 150 to 200 lines with your identified 30 lines that you've highlighted. Click on here and then you can create, I'm going to create the thread. I'm just going to write, please post transcripts here. And here we go. Okay. And then I also want to take us back to my last summer's class, because I think it would be important for you all. Let me resume share. Oops, sorry. Okay, hang on one second. I somehow lost the screen share, so I'm going to just go back and do that again. Here we go. Okay, so I also want to show you my previous class, my nursing class from last year, what this looked like in its completion to give you a sense of what transcripts look like for posting. So this is a student who posted her blank transcript without coding for class. So this is what she did 1 week ahead of time. So you can see she has the text box and she has highlighted her 30 lines of data, which we coded as a class together. Okay, and then she also posted her coding and others did as well. So you can see this is what it looks like coded. And she used the technique of gerunding. All right, let me see if I can find another example. She did some maybe kind of sparse coding. So I'm going to show you my coding. So you can see that my coding, this was her very first time doing it. So you can see that my coding is a little bit more in depth, meaning that I really went through line by line and tried to think of as many codes as I could using Kathy Sharmaz's gerunding strategies to really pull out as much meaning and action, looking at participants' words and meaning. So this is just to give you a sense of what the discussion board is going to look like when we start posting each other's first transcripts with no codes, and then our subsequent coders for that week and myself will also post our response codes on your transcripts. All right, everybody, I hope that is as clear as it can be. Oops, sorry. I'm going to stop sharing my screen. And I hope that you will all reach out to me if you have any questions, if you have any delays, anything you need to troubleshoot with me. I am happy to help you at any time. All right, thanks a lot and have a great day.